Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing to you my October reading wrap-up. October was not a great reading month for me. I managed reading 11 books, but there was this one book which I read as the first book of the month and it took me 10 days to read that book alone. It did not end up so well and it messed up my entire reading for the rest of the month. I don't know how I even caught up with reading these 11 books, but except that first book which I talked about, all the other books were mostly really good. So without any further ado, let's get into the books right away. The first physical book which I read is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and this is the book which just affected my reading month totally, and because of this I was not at all able to read many of the other books which were even better than this one. Now The Night Circus actually deals with this circus which occurs in the middle of the night somewhere in the world, and it just puts on a show. No one knows when the circus will come to their town and for how many days it will be there, and it also opens up only in the night time and everything inside the Night Circus is just black and white. The things which I liked about this book were that it had very gorgeous prose and the setup of the Night Circus was just very breathtaking. I just felt like I could just live inside the Night Circus forever if you let me. But I did not like this book at all towards the end because it did not have a plot and I did not care for the characters in any way at all. I've actually made a review for this one talking about why I did not like it and the various other reasons which made this book so bad for me as a reader. So if you're interested in checking it out, I've linked it down the description. Also, if I have review videos for any of the other books, all of them will be linked down below. So yeah, I had very high expectations for this one and it definitely did disappoint me so much. So I can say that this is my most disappointing read of the year so far, and I rated this one 2.5 stars. The next one which I finished is The Boy with a Broken Heart by Durjoy Datta, and I'm so grateful that I picked this book up right after The Night Circus because this was such a good read for me because it was very quick and so easy to read, and I was just continuously flipping the pages because I wanted to know what was happening. I'll not say that it is thrilling in any way, but it'll just keep you so much engaged because each and every character that this author has written that I've read so far have been really good. We actually follow the story from the point of view of the main character Advaita alone in this book, but the way in which she sees the world, even though it is so hard for her, is that it is very positive. I actually read the first book, which is The Boy Who Loved, in May, and I put this on my TBR and asked whether people have read it before, and anyone who commented that they've read both the books commented that this is just as good as the first book, and I totally agree because everything that was shown in here was justified really well in this one. And if you are a person who's waiting to read a really good YA series, I highly recommend this one because it is perfectly YA and I'm sure that you'll completely love it no matter what taste you have. And another cool thing which I noticed after putting these books together on my shelf is that when the spines are together, they just form these hearts. Can you see? Okay, it's a bit misaligned because of my palm, but other than that, it is really good. So basically, I enjoyed this one very much and I rated it 4 stars. The next one which I finished is A Reaper at the Gates by Sabaa Tahir. This is the third book in the Ember Quartet, and I can say that this series is heading on in a really wonderful direction. Okay, I can say that each and every book that I've read after the first book has only become better and better, and one thing which I've learned really well after reading all these 3 books is that Sabaa Tahir knows how to write her characters in the most realistic form possible. She puts them through very hard conditions and situations, but the way in which they come out of all of those things, learning a lot of stuff, just makes them so much likable. And I can say that all the 3 main characters in this one, Laya, who's our main character, and 2 other characters who are Elias and Helene, all of them are really well written. Okay, and the things that happen to them, we cannot compare them at all because they are all horrible in one way or the other, and they just make it through their life past all those things and continuously help people no matter what happens, doing the right thing that they can do in the time that they are in. I was supposed to finish the last book in the series also in October itself, but because of various reasons that were caused because of the Night Circus, I was not able to finish it, but I'm sure that I will finish the series this year. So yeah, this was obviously a 5-star book for me. The next one is actually a thriller, and I think this is the first thriller that I'm reading this year, and I took a chance with it because most people whom I follow on BookTube as well as Bookstagram that love thrillers did not like this book, and I'm talking about Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. I think I bought this in 2019 and I'm reading it just now, but I should say that I was very surprised with this book because I was totally engrossed by the story because it kept me guessing the whole time and I was not at all able to predict who the antagonist was. Here we follow Julia Abbott, who is in her early 30s right now, and she has to return to her hometown because her sister Nell Abbott has died by falling into a pond, and she has to take care of her daughter who's left orphan right now. So she goes back to the hometown which she doesn't want to go to, and she has to take care of this child whom she's totally not at all interested in. And to add on to all the things that are happening right now, the child is also a teenager who totally hates her aunt who's to take care of her. There are multiple things which get revealed about the history of both the Abbotts as well as some of the other characters inside the small town itself. There was one thing which just bummed me a little when it came to this book, because it's just a short book that is 300 to 320 pages long, but it had a ton of characters. Because I felt like most characters, or some of the characters who were included in there, did not feel like they were important or necessary even for the story at all. Despite all those things, I liked the thriller element of the book very much, so I rated this one 4 stars. The next one is The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien, which is the second book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and I've actually filmed my dedicated review for this one. I'm not sure whether I'll be publishing it before the wrap up or after it, so watch out for it. If I published it before, it'll be linked down in the description. Now I can say that this one was not as good as the first book, but even now after finishing The Two Towers, I'm very much pumped up to pick up the second book, because Tolkien has this way of ending his stories or ending the parts of the stories that lead on to the other segment, such that it feels like we want to read the next book very soon. I also watched the movie after finishing this book. I can say that there were many things which were changed in the movie compared to that of the book. I enjoyed both, but I liked the book more, obviously, because there were many things which were going on in here that were not that clearly addressed in that one, obviously because it's a film, and if they go on tackling each and every detail from the book, the movies will be just even more long than they are right now. So if you do like high fantasy, and if you want to challenge yourself as a reader when it comes to reading fantasy, I'd highly recommend The Lord of the Rings. I've been reading the books very slowly, and I'm pretty sure that I'll finish the series in November itself, and after finishing it I want to read the other books inside the Middle-earth series also. So let's just hope that I pick up all the other books and read them and enjoy them just as much as I've read the first 3 books so far. So yeah, I rated this one 4 stars. Last physical book is technically the one which I have not finished yet. I'm just filming this video on the afternoon of October 31st because it's a Sunday and I have the time right now only for filming. And the book that I'm talking about is Beach Read by Emily Henry. Right now it's a 4 or 5 star read for me. By the time I'm editing the video, I would have finished reading the book, because I have only this as a task for doing for the rest of the day. I just have like 50 pages. I'm sure that I'll finish it today. After I finish it, I'll just leave my rating somewhere on the screen so that you'll be totally informed of my opinion for the book. Now in this one, this is an adult contemporary romance in which we follow January, who's our main character, and she goes to this retreat in a beach house of her father from the past, and she's going to try and write her next novel there because she's a romance author, and she has this other kind of nemesis from her college named Augustus, who happens to live just as the neighbor for that beach house. And as a result of this, what happens is both their paths collide, and Augustus is trying to write a novel of his own because he's an author and his genre is literary fiction. Because of some things that happen, they both challenge each other, and they are to write book in a genre that the other is working on. That is that the male character is going to write a romance novel and our female character is going to write a literary fiction novel. As of now, the book is just so awesome. Okay, there are multiple things that are explored in this book. I have not seen grief and denial that have been explored really good in romance novels at all. For that reason itself, I'm just totally enjoying it. I have not finished the book yet, but I can easily say that I'm going to recommend this book many times in the channel. I'm sure that by now the rating will be there somewhere on the screen. Moving on to the audiobook, I listened to only one audiobook in October because I got my Storytel subscription only in the last 10 days and I was not that much in a listening mode also. So I just listened to one short audiobook, and it is Stillness Speaks by Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle is the author of The Power of Now, which is definitely one of the best books that I've read when it comes to mindfulness and being present. And in that book, the author just completely tells us the importance of being present and how we have to concentrate on some things within ourselves in order to feel the present moment and make the most use out of it, because the present is the only moment that is actually there and all the other things are definitely not existent. In this book, he actually talks about how we can focus on stillness and how that stillness can bring us that peace of mind which we can use to do all the things that we want to do. It is not even a big audiobook. I think it's just under 3 hours long and I listened to it completely. The book is totally comprised of just silence and the author's voice alone. There is no background noise, there is no background music, there is nothing. The experience of listening to this book was very peaceful, calming and enlightening as well. So if you are suffering with some kind of anxiety or pressure or stress, please do go forward and listen to this book. I'm sure that it will help you in some way or the other, and I rated this one 4 stars. Moving on to the ebooks, I totally read 4 ebooks. Of those, the first 2 are from my Kindle Unlimited subscription and the other 2 are from my Storytel subscription, which are comic books. I'll talk about the Kindle books first. Of these, the first one is Introducing Buddhism, a graphic guide by Jane Hope and Borin Mannoon. There are actually multiple books inside the graphic guide series. I think I've read only this one. The authors actually explain how Buddhism started as a religion inside India and how it just spread across different parts of the world. mostly Asia alone, and the way in which most of the things that the authors talks about are completely based on historical evidence and facts alone, and the way in which Buddhism has strongly decreased in India, though it is the birthplace for Buddhism, and how it has flourished in other countries is properly explained to us with reasons, and the things that happen for the decrease in the number of Buddhists in India and the increase of Buddhists in the other parts of the world. I found this book very informative because I've not read anything like this before, and it was also fun reading it since it was like a graphic guide. It reads like a novel and also had some comic strips here and there, so it was very interesting to read. I rate this one 4 stars. The next one is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christou. Now this is a YA fantasy. I can say that it heavily leans inside the siren lore alone. I've read some books which involve mermaids, but I've not read anything about sirens at all, so this one was very interesting for me to read because it includes a lot of siren lore put into it, because our main character, who's Lyra, is a siren, and she has this task of acquiring 18 hearts before her 18th birthday, because if she collects all 18 hearts, she'll become the queen of the ocean, and her mother is currently the queen. She's the heir actually, and her mother does not want her to take the throne because she just wants to keep the power for herself. And when Lyra ends up collecting all 18 hearts, she just kills one of those hearts and makes us take another heart from a different prince, and she's also called the Prince Slayer because Lyra has collected only 18 prince hearts, and with that itself she gets the power to claim the throne. But because of her mother's plan, all these things go astray and she is turned into the form of a human being, and she's sent into the place of the humans where she has to slay the prince and get his heart out. It was really interestingly written. I can say that it gets a bit slow and meandering at times, but as a whole it was really good, and there's a twist towards the end which I did not see coming. It is very suitable for chilly seasons, and I'm sure that if you read it during that time you'll completely enjoy it. It is dark and delicious, so I rated this one 4 stars. Coming to the comic books, the first one is Candy Hearts by Tommy Siegel. Now this is available in Storytel if you have the subscription. I think the book was released just in this year, February or something, and it is just a very short comic book which depicts human beings as candy hearts and the things that we say to others just in order to be nice while we are having some other opinions within ourselves, and those things which are actually our mind voices is shown inside these hearts and with speech bubbles here and there throughout the comic book. It's very, very short. I think it's even under 150 pages long, but I can say that it is very funny and thought-provoking also at times, because these are things which all of us do in our daily lives, and we might also have the experience of seeing that from other people. I cannot say that it was really good. It was okay, so I rated this one 3 stars. The last book that I finished is Happily Ever After and Everything in Between by Debbie Tung. Now this is also a comic book which is available in Storytel. You can read it for free if you have the subscription. This comic book is actually written by the author who wrote another very, very famous comic book called Book Club. It is a comic book that is totally dedicated for book lovers alone, and if you are a book lover, everything inside that comic book will be totally relatable for you. If you have not read it, please do go forward and try it. I think it is available as an ebook in most platforms, and I think every book lover should love it because it is completely made for us and keeping us alone in mind. But in this book, we follow this very young and cute married couple just after the marriage and a few years into their marriage, and I'd highly recommend everyone to read this during some comfy season because it is a very, very cozy comic book and it is also a very quick read. The artwork in this one is also very minimalistic and quirky, so it just adds on different layers for the comic book as a whole. I rated this one 4 stars. So yes guys, those are all the books which I read in October, and don't forget to leave your October wrap up in the comments below because I'd like to know all the books that you have read, and if you've read any of the books which I've talked about in the video, also do comment about them because I'd like to know your views. And if you did enjoy watching today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.